Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Everybody in podcast land, and welcome to another sports podcast. I'm Joel Anderson.
I'm Jordan Pomaville.
And joining us as always is Phil Ranta, the sports outsider.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know anything about sports. That's the premise.
Yes, that is the premise of our podcast.
Well, the premise is also it's sports comedy.
Right. No, it's more the premise of me, like as a person.
Right.
You know?
How you kind of fit in here.
How I fit in universally, really.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know much about sports.
Your parents were brainstorming, and they're like, what if we had a kid who just didn't know about sports?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Let's try that.
We'll try it.
Yeah. All right. You catch any games this week, Phil?
I did.
What?
I knew
Yeah.
it.
You've ruined the whole premise of our podcast.
Oh, no. I forgot that was the premise of the podcast. Why didn't you guys
Can I
remind
guess?
me?
Can I guess?
Yes.
Thanksgiving Day football.
I was watching that with my family, yes.
There you go.
Yeah. Well,
course
actually,
you
I
were.
was with my 2-year-old niece, Caroline, was also there, and her and I both got bored at the same time and ended up playing iPad. She loves playing iPad.
I'm sorry,
No,
it's
iPad is a device, obviously.
Yeah, she's 2, and she knows how to use an iPad
Well,
from
what-
turning it on to unlocking it to finding what she wants to hitting it and then playing the game.
So how do you play iPad? Is that just what she said?
There's like kids storybooks, and there's like things where you touch. I like the Yo Gabba Gabba thing.
Yo, Gabba Gabba.
I
Right.
should probably mention at this point that I don't know how to use an iPad.
Right. That's because you grew up with PBS.
Yep.
Ain't no iPads on PBS.
Well, there's a lot of science and technology
You
stuff.
can get an iPad
Nova.
case for donating $150. You get a nice iPad
Yeah,
case.
to the Sports podcast.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update. Brought to you by Mentos.
Feel the rush in your mouth. Splat.
All right.
That guy just killed
Tebow!
himself. Tebow!
Thanksgiving Day game. New England Patriots, 49.
That was the late one, right?
Yeah, the primetime game.
Yeah.
New York Jets, 19.
Yay.
What? The Jets lost.
Tim Tebow was recovering from 2 broken ribs, which kept him out of the game
Wait.
on Thanksgiving.
What?
How did
How did we miss that?
How did
update?
Tim Tebow break any ribs?
It was the 1 week I wasn't here, and there was no. Actually, it was 3 weeks ago. It was at Seattle, and they didn't know at the time, and now they just kind of came out and said,
So, I mean, he's got what, like 15 carries on the year?
well,
Like
no, I'm
8
glad.
pass attempts, and he managed to break his ribs. in there
He's
somewhere?
fragile. He's
29 carries, and he's 6
Oh.
of 7 passing on the year.
Oh,
Again, we missed one.
Was there an incompletion
What?
in like week 1?
I think it was a statistical correction or something. I
Oh,
don't know.
all right.
Oh, okay.
But he was available in case of an emergency. The emergency being, we need a small lefty at quarterback with an arm inversely proportional in strength to his religious views.
Wait. So he had 2 broken ribs, but he was still ready to jump in if they needed him?
Right. However, the only
a brave
emergency
man.
where it would be needed would be Rapture and the subsequent Rapture soccer game.
But still, he was willing to he was all suited up, ready to jump right in there.
He's always ready
Wait.
because he's always prepared for Judgment Day.
Oh, that's
Tebow would
wonderful.
not be a good backup quarterback in case of rapture. Because if there's a rapture, he's going. He's going to be gone. It's just going to be an empty Tebow
Well, no,
uniform
I told
with
you
some
the
shoulder
Rapture
pads.
soccer game, the lesser-known Rapture soccer game.
They're going to play soccer?
Oh, yeah, to judge the living and the dead. This is all in the Bible, Joel.
This is why I'm perfectly okay with going to hell.
All right. Thanksgiving Day game 2. Oh, wait, I got to end it. That was the Tim Tebow update, watch, update.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update. Brought to you by Mentos.
Oh, I've got Mentos in my mouth. I'm going to drink this Diet Coke. Blah, blah, blah. I died.
That's not the tagline at all.
What? What do you mean?
I mean,
When you put Mentos in diet soda, it goes off like a geyser.
I don't think it has to be diet soda, does it?
Yes, yeah, I think it does.
Does it?
It was on Mythbusters.
Yeah, it was on Mythbusters.
So is it it's the artificial sweetener that reacts with the Mentos.
Whatever the cancer-causing agent in diet soda is,
Yeah.
it's what reacts with the Mentos to create the.
Do you know if you have cancer and then you put a Mentos in your mouth, you also spit like a geyser? Just goes, just a constant stream. Real funny around the ward. Real funny.
So now I'm picturing a guy just popping a Mentos like usual. He spews and he's like, "Oh my god,
I have cancer."
I have to find out from Mentos.
Yeah. Feel the rush in your mouth.
So hey, Mentos, breath freshening, and life saving,
Yeah.
and life costing apparently too.
Right, life costing too.
And the game I'm assuming you saw, Phil, Detroit Lions 31, Houston Texans 34. If you bet the Texans to cover it 3.5, and you're saying, how did you guys not cover? Seriously, your defense is better than this.
Yeah. I gotta say, I was maybe just a little upset about the outcome of that game.
Right.
Why? Texas is a football state.
Yeah, well, in this particular case, the Lions.
Yeah, story checks out, Phil.
Yeah. They love it there.
The Lions kind of got completely jobbed. in
What?
this game.
It was pretty bonkers.
There was so there was this thing where a guy was down, but the rest didn't call him down. Then he got up and he ran for like an 81-yard touchdown. And then the coach for the Lions was so upset about this that he threw his challenge flag onto the field. And apparently, unbeknownst to like everyone who watches football, if you throw your challenge, they automatically review every scoring play.
Yeah.
So by throwing his challenge flag, it was a 15-yard penalty, and then the play becomes unchallengeable. So even though it was apparent to anyone who was watching that the guy was clearly down and it would have been overturned via review.
Wait, by challenging it becomes unchallengeable.
By challenging it becomes unchallengeable.
Why? I'm confused.
Well,
I'm missing.
here's what. Now, you say everyone else watching. Let me tell you what. When you're a football coach, you need to know the rules of the sport you're coaching. I'm sorry. There is no excuse for Jim Schwartz taking that penalty. You should know that all scoring plays will be reviewed. You should know that, and you should know that if you throw the challenge flag, that's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
It's the
that's
coach's
on Schwartz.
responsibility. It's me as the fan can be outraged and be like, that doesn't make a lick of sense. NFL, what are you doing?
You got a southern accent because you're a sports fan.
I know. Now I'm into sports. But no, Jim Schwartz should have known that. So I really,
you're absolutely
and
right.
he copped to it at the end of the game.
He did cop to it. However, as a fan, I am less angry at Schwartz than I am at the NFL for having such an utterly retarded
I thought that the
rule.
replacement refs weren't reffing anymore.
They're not. This is just a rule.
So they just make mistakes now? Is that the thing?
No, see, the thing is, it would have been overturned had he not challenged it. All scoring plays are reviewed.
The way Joel told it was the guy was down, and then he got up and ran.
Right. They didn't call him down, so there was no whistle.
They didn't call him down? But he was down. Joel said so.
I know. And he upon further review, he absolutely was down.
This is horse shit.
Absolutely.
Who do I get to yell at?
Well, I'll tell you who you can yell at.
Both
What?
Jim Schwartz and the people in the NFL who
I'm
made
going to
this
find
rule
him
for
and
some
I'm
reason.
going to yell at him.
Well, you know who else would like to yell?
What's that?
Matt Schaub,
Who?
Houston Texans quarterback.
Yes.
He got inadvertently or vertently kicked in the balls.
Really?
Yeah, by
Oh,
Ndamukong
man, that must
Suh.
have been hilarious.
It was that, they showed it on the bumper to all the commercials because families are watching.
Yeah.
And it was
And they
just-
went, boy, oi, 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 oi. And then Bob Saget went, oh, I hope I don't get kicked in the balls, boy, oi, 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 oi.
Yeah. It was like America's Funniest Home Videos, and they did keep showing it over and over again.
Nice.
It looked accidental. However, Ndamukong Suh got a bit of a reputation.
We did an earlier episode called Do the Ndamukong Stomp.
Right, because last year on Thanksgiving Day, he stomped on a guy's hand and was kicked out of the game
Whoa.
and suspended
And
for
then
2 games.
suspended, yeah.
Because they're like, well, you can't stomp on a guy. Well, you can accidentally. But when they show the replay, he was doing this. This is an audio show.
Yeah.
In the replay.
No, I got what you were.
in the replay-
Jordan stuck his knee out to the side and turned away from the microphone, and then he stomped his
I
foot
stomped
down.
Because
Jordan doesn't think I know what a stomp is, so he had to show me.
You don't watch a lot of sports, Phil.
Right, but I've stomped on things. I've stomped the yard. That's not a sport.
You tread lightly.
I've seen
I've
Stomp
never-
the Yard.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, which is a wonderful film. I recommend it to anyone.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I
And
don't remember it that
Ndamukong
well.
Suh has a cameo, doesn't he?
Yeah, only when he stomps the yard does not get up.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, I was rather impressed by this play because, first of all, it's entirely possible that it was inadvertent.
It looked accidental to me,
Here's the thing. To
And
me,
it looked accidentally hilarious.
it looked either accidental or it looked like a masterfully dirty play. Because it was one of those things where it kind of did look to me like he might have actually, I don't know if he intended to kick him in the balls, but it did look like he was sort of like, I'm falling down. I could probably flail my leg here and get away with it and make contact with Matt Schaub. And I think he did it so well that it's like they couldn't possibly call it advertent. They couldn't possibly suspend him. And yet at the same time, I think he might have gotten a free shot on the balls of the quarterback.
Wow.
How many of us get a free shot at the balls of a quarterback?
That's not a cheerleader.
You got to be 5'2" and have enormous tits.
Yeah.
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 All
But
right.
the whole thing, at the very least, it's hard for me to be that sympathetic for quarterbacks in today's NFL because, they get away with everything.
Right.
A couple of shots in the balls now and then. I'm like, you know what? You get paid all the money.
Hey, Jordan, what do we got on the docket?
Well, I'll tell you. We have college sports blogger Chaz Nelson.
Who?
College
Chaz
sports
Nelson.
blogger Chaz Nelson.
Oh, that's what I thought you said.
He's a young guy. He's right out of college. He started a college sports blog in college out of his dorm room.
Wow.
It's really popular with the kids.
A bit of an entrepreneur.
He's very entrepreneurial.
Nice.
Yeah. And so he's going to be on, and we're going to talk to him about, the national championship game and the bowl situation and the conference championships and all that. And then we're also going to talk a new segment because we don't have hockey, Joel.
We do not have the NHL for the winter.
For which we blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of my fault, and I'm sorry.
So we're going to talk. We have a new segment about professional sports or professional basketball.
What?
We
Professional sports? We're going to do something on professional sports on the Sports podcast?
That's right, Phil.
What?
I'm glad you tuned in.
That's crazy.
That's cray-cray.
That's actually great.
So anyway, that's what's on. Oh, no, Phil, do we have a weird sport?
You're goddamn right we do. I thought you were going to forget it again. No, I got a new batch of weird sports that are going to blow your mind holes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are they fresh?
Just the
They're
last,
fresh. They're funky fresh.
My mind hole is still pretty sore from the last batch of weird sports.
Oh,
so I don't know
your
if I can
mind
take it.
hole is going to be sore for a long time.
Well, I'm gonna lube up my manhole, my mind hole.
Boo! Joel took a perfectly good innuendo and put it in people's face.
That was actually a slip.
You put your manhole
Freudian
in people's
slip,
face.
If you will. I did not mean to say manhole there. So,
Yeah.
whoops.
Well, we should get things started then.
Well,
Please.
let's go.
Please.
Hey there, everybody. We are joined today. Very happy to have this guest. Very popular with all of the young kids today. We have Chaz Nelson, sports blogger, fresh out of college.
That's right, yeah.
Absolutely. Popular blog, College Sports Blogistrated.
College Sports Blogistrated.com.
Absolutely. You are, what's your alma mater?
Alma mater is Bowling Green University, baby.
Hey, do you do a
Bowling
lot
Green.
of bowling there?
Nope, it's just the name of the school.
I
Bowling Green State
imagine that
University.
at Bowling Green, instead of alleys, they use grass. Hence, Bowling Green.
You see things differently, man.
I know,
And
man.
that's cool.
I'm way out there, just like
That's
you.
cool.
Yeah, I like your poncho. I
Thanks.
can tell you just graduated. Usually, adults don't wear ponchos.
It's very utilitarian, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm hot, I wear a poncho. Sometimes I'm cold, I wear a poncho.
Then you just wear ponchos. You don't have to qualify it with the temperature. You just wear poncho. You're a poncho wearing guy.
Actually, when it's
In the spring
moderately
and fall, I wear a
tempered.
transitional jacket.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
You wear a
all
light
right,
jacket.
yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, transitional jacket.
That makes sense.
Well, Chaz, we're really happy to have you on here today because we want to talk about BCS. We got college bowl games, all this getting ready. We have the title matches coming up.
Oh, yeah,
but,
conference championship games coming right up.
yeah, looking like it's not going to matter that much though because it's basically whoever wins the SEC title between Georgia and Bama
Right.
is going to play Notre Dame.
Right. Which,
Yeah.
by the way, good to see this dark horse come out of nowhere because, and everyone's making such a big deal about it. But I don't see it. It's a good story, Start the season ranked low, move it up the rankings.
Notre Dame, not exactly a dark horse though.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Notre Dame. It's one of the most storied college football programs in history.
Well, I've been covering college sports for the College Sports Blogistrated for now about 5 years since my freshman year in the dorm.
Okay.
When everyone was wearing ponchos.
oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Back when people were listening to Smash Mouth and wearing ponchos, right?
I don't
People
think
listen to
listen
Smash Mouth
5 years ago.
ironically.
Oh,
Ironically, man.
the Smash Mouth was my college experience.
Yeah,
The
that's
poncho
true.
is sincerity, man. Get used to it. Your irony's dying.
Hey, don't get all up in my face. I'm still cool with the kids. I work in new media.
Yeah, you don't have the genuineness.
Oh no, I am so angry. You know what? You can't
Phil,
say Notre Dame's
Phil,
no good
Phil,
because they have Rudy on their
Phil.
team.
What's that?
Rudy.
You never
You
heard
know-
of, you never heard of Rudy?
What is?
Rudy.
Oh, it's
Rudy.
like Cosby Show.
No, not the Cosby
Rudy.
Show.
Rudy, all you doing
Okay,
is coming
Rudy.
over here.
That was a
famous-
really
it was a
good Bill
famous
Cosby
movie.
impression.
Thanks,
I liked it.
man.
Hey,
No.
dude, you got the Rudy
To do
with
that in the multicultural lounge.
Yeah.
On
Well,
Wednesdays,
No, but I'm
open
talking
mic.
about Rudy. Like they all came in, they laid their jersey on the coach's desk and said, "Let Rudy play."
He played for Notre Dame.
Oh, it's
back
probably a
in the
long
day.
time ago. Probably before I started following.
He was a
covering-
hobbit. He was one of the hobbits.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm
well, the
excited
guy who
about
played
that.
Rudy. But no, but I mean, this is Notre Dame, a national power for many years.
Well, I don't see you say that, Joel, but I've been covering college sports for 5 years now, and all I've seen him is go from coach to coach, doing coaching searches, talking a big game. They won the Aloha Bowl. That was a big deal. You know, I feel that was a great step for a small private school in northern Indiana. Winning the Aloha Bowl, thousands of miles from home, that's a big deal.
No, it's not. For Notre Dame, it's not a big deal to win the Aloha Bowl. It's a big deal to win a national title, which they're playing for.
Well,
which,
I just don't think they should set the bar too high. I think it's great they even made it to the game.
what do you mean
know?
set the bar too high? They've got like 6 national titles. They have the highest win percentage in the history of college football.
You know that you say that, but they're not even in a conference, man. Who else isn't in a conference? Navy, Army. Oh, great company.
Hey, whoa!
And-
You do not speak ill of the American military. All right, they are fighting for your freedom to wear ponchos, Mister.
Look, man, I respect our veterans and our servicemen and
Don't
women.
sound like it.
No, I do. But I write for College Sports Blogistrated, not War Blogistrated.
Oh,
So-
don't you diss on War Blogistrated.
I'm just saying, we're two different models, you know. And as college football teams go, Army, how good can a team that plays Navy every year play? Be, you know.
No, but that's a classic match. In the 1940s, that was a really big game.
I'm sure it was. In the 1940s, also, the movies were in black and white, and
Okay,
things were
but-
different.
Yeah, Hitler
People
was
played
alive.
that cup and ball game. Yeah.
But listen, what about more recently? Lou Holtz took the Fighting Irish to a title.
You know, I'm sure that happened, but I'm sure it was before I was born. And I'm also pretty sure that guy sounds like Daffy Duck.
Wait a second. What year
he
were you
does.
born?
89, man.
Whoa, I feel
Oh.
old. I feel very old. So Nintendo was already out when you were born.
Man, by the time I was gaming, it was all SNES.
Oh, SNES was the best system ever made.
Called it Super.
You're a lucky man.
Just Super.
Lucky man. I still don't like you, you hippie, but you're a lucky
okay,
man.
can we get back to the? I mean, it's hard for me to understand how you don't get it. Like Notre Dame is like they're the college football program.
Well, maybe.
They don't need to be in a conference. They could have been in a conference and they didn't want to be in a conference.
I don't know what,
because
because they're not playing in a conference championship game now.
Oh,
That's for damn sure.
face.
But, and I'll tell you what, I mean, I see most, they play 6 games on NBC every year or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see 12 on ESPN Classic, and they're all grainy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because those are classic games.
Yeah, but who wants to look at that video quality? Really?
Honestly, I'd rather watch a screensaver at
Right?
this point in time.
Yeah, like flying toasters. Remember that screensaver?
Remember, who could forget?
Yeah.
Does
That
he
would-
remember flying
That would
toasters?
have been when he was about 6.
Okay,
You
all
know,
right.
it was one of those things we used it ironically in the dorms a little
Oh,
bit.
you still have
Yeah.
flying toasters. Oh, man.
Everything I remember is now ironic to you. But the
I mean, look at their uniforms, Joel. They don't even put names on the back. They're navy. Oh, no teams wear navy, and their
classy.
Helmets, their
It's
helmets
classy.
are plain. They just look like
there's
they're-
actual gold in the paint in their helmets.
What?
No, that's just something they say. You know what's classy is Oregon. Oregon wins football games.
Oregon?
wins Rose Bowls. Oregon has new uniforms every game, and they have
And
like
people in
feathers on.
Portland
them.
wear a lot of
shitty
ponchos.
uniforms.
Yeah, those are great ponchos
Yeah.
too. Those ponchos are organic ponchos, though.
Oh, you're one of those organic people. Oh, I hate you even
No,
more.
look, Oregon doesn't have any tradition.
Yeah, well,
Oregon barely. I mean, what?
if tradition's winning, man, then Oregon's got lots of it.
No, that is so sad.
Follow me at College Sports Blogistrated.
That is the longest Twitter handle ever.
I don't get to say a lot.
Yeah.
That cuts into my characters.
Oh, okay.
My
okay.
posts are usually, how are you? Game great. with an 8.
Nice.
Save spate.
Oh, jeez. Well, from the little that I know about Notre Dame, it sounds like you're way off because I've heard of Notre Dame.
Yes,
and I can't
Phil,
name
the sports
anything.
outsider has
I
heard
can't
of
name
Notre
anything
Dame.
Oregon has ever done except for
Oregon.
Portlandia.
Yeah.
And their trail.
Yeah, it was a great trail. You got dysentery on the trail. Remember Oregon Trail?
Oh, yeah. Strenuous pace. Split the difference between steady and grueling, my friend.
Oh, but I bet you played it ironically, right?
No, I played it sincerely.
There we go. We're friends again.
Absolutely. We had a couple Apple II GSs. Those were around
Oh, I
ironically.
love
though.
the Apple IIgs. Such a
Listen, Chaz,
Yeah.
please do me a favor and look up some history, okay?
All right.
I'm not a Notre Dame fan, but they have a really, really strong tradition there, and it's just hard for me to. I mean, you don't.
You do me a favor. You check out Thursday Night College Football when Oregon's playing and the lights are bright, and also this sweet DVD. It's a little movie I like to call "Remember the Titans."
Remember that? I don't.
Greatest football movie ever made.
Oh,
Okay,
jeez.
you can get out.
All right.
You can get
at College Sports Blog Illustrated.
Don't tell him your Twitter
Follow-
handle. You're
follow
just gonna
me
get
on
out,
Twitter.
Chaz. You're gonna
All
get
right.
out.
I'll see you guys.
I bet he has an Instagram.
Remember the Titans. Jesus Christ.
Buzzer beaters.
Slamma jamma ding dong.
Professional basketball.
All right, we're talking NBA. Okay.
Yeah.
Sports.
All right. We got some topics to cover in professional basketball.
All right.
We don't cover this sport a lot. We're going to give it more of its due now
Yep.
that we only have we're going on one sport.
Do not
this
have
winter.
a whole lot of choice about it because there's no hockey. So,
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nets.
well, what's going on? It's their first season in Brooklyn, is it?
It
not?
is, and they have a new uniform. They have a new arena,
Yep.
and they have a new mascot. Guess what it is?
The net.
The Brooklyn Knight.
What?
Brooklyn Knight
With a K?
with a K. Like everything in
Ooh.
Brooklyn, it's super goofy and takes itself way too seriously.
All right.
Mascots are supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they're supposed to be a little silly, you know. This is the most self-serious mascot I've ever seen.
He stands stoically with his sword and
He almost looks like the Black Knight from the beginning of Monty Python, but just updated for the kids. He has a B on his chest. They introduced him as saying, "Born from the beating heart of Brooklyn, your Brooklyn, forged from the same stone and steel as your battleground. He's your hunger for a team to call your own. He's your passion given form. Here to defend Brooklyn, it's the Brooklyn Knight."
But the knights are associated with medieval
No. You have to understand,
England.
Phil. This is drawing on the long, storied tradition of feudal lords making their life in Brooklyn.
That's not how it worked, though.
No. Actually, it was the result of one guy going, because, you know, what you call yourself, you live in Brooklyn, you're a Brooklynite. You see? So one guy in
God.
Jay-Z's focus group went, "Hey, it'd be great if they had like a clever name that was like a play on words."
And then all the fat cigar chomping guys were like,
play on words?
Yeah.
We haven't done a play on words in a while.
Can he jump on a trampoline and slam dunk?
That is horrifying.
Yeah.
A folded slice of pizza would have been a better mascot.
It would have been a
true.
better
I know that's
mascot.
what you're gonna say next.
We're taking a
Here's
bite
the thing.
out
I
of
will
that.
give them this. I think if you rate the Brooklyn Knight against other mascot decisions made in the last, let's say, 20 years, I'd say you're actually doing okay.
I disagree, and here's why. It doesn't smile. You can't see the face. It is like I said, it looks like I don't know, Lego's Castle Edition. Like this is what the guy.
Oh, I love
like,
those.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's not fun. Like there's no smile. Like most mascots are something super PC but super accessible. But they're smiling and happy, and the kids take pictures with it. This guy looks terrifying.
Yeah, but I mean, he's going up against like the Minnesota Wild. And
That's a hockey team, Joel.
that is a hockey team.
You
But
mean the
what are
Timberwolves?
other new teams in the last like 20 years?
20 years.
A
Oklahoma
lot of
City
stupid mascots.
Thunder.
I
But
think Knight
the
is
the
better
mascot
than
themselves is not the invisible noise Thunder. I believe they actually have like a horse or something.
Ah,
You see
that
what I'm
makes
saying?
sense.
Yeah,
Because
and
horses, when they gallop, sounds like thunder.
Right. Okay. Mark Cuban slams power balance.
what?
Wait, Mark Cuban, the rich dude?
Yeah, you know those bracelets that you wear on your thing, and they're supposed to help your arthritis. or
Yeah,
help you
with the
perform
magnets,
better?
right?
Right. Power Bar, maker of said magic bracelets, recently declared bankruptcy after paying a $57 million out-of-court class action settlement for rampant false advertising. Hello, NBA's newest business partner. It's making bracelets with all 30 NBA logos on them, so to push the product, the NBA has put it in all of the team's locker rooms.
Wow. After it's already been proven not to work?
Well, yeah, of course it's proven not to work. Mark Cuban, who apparently also rejected this idea on Shark Tank, made a YouTube video of him saying, "This is garbage. This doesn't work. This is crazy," and threw it out. And was like, "I'm not allowing it. I'm not allowing it in my locker room." Yeah.
Yeah. The
Said
boy
it's
that
a giant scam, he said.
Mark
So
Cuban,
now it's
voice of reason.
Yeah.
So wait, how I don't understand why they're putting it in the locker rooms if they went bankrupt.
They
It
want
doesn't
the
work.
kids. They want the players to wear them.
Yeah.
Because it's a business partnership with the NBA has clearly made the business partner with this terrible
With Power Bar?
with Power Balance.
Oh, with Power Balance.
These are magnets that are supposed to cure arthritis?
Well, they're bracelets that have, they have a bunch of
Healing powers.
Eastern mysticism,
Oh, for crying out
It's
loud.
a giant scam. Spend $32.99 on a book that explains the placebo effect,
Ooh.
and you'll be better off.
Yikes.
The association has not commented yet, but they are expected to fine Mark Cuban for the equivalent of declaring the Earth revolves around the sun in a public square.
Jeez.
I feel like Mark Cuban must be fun to be him. Like
Yeah.
to be an owner of a professional team and have so much money that you could give. I guess most people do, but Mark Cuban's the guy who just doesn't give a flying fuck.
He knows he's going to get fined, and he's totally
does
cool
it
with it.
anyway. Love that about him.
Bulls jersey and toilet?
What?
Drew Gooden, 31-year-old powers forward, stokes the flames of the Milwaukee Bucks Chicago Bulls budding rivalry. That's right. It's a budding rivalry.
By putting a jersey in the toilet?
Hold up, Phil.
Oh. I'm sorry. I was trying to get to the meat of the sandwich too quickly.
He tweeted, "First person that can pick me a Bulls jersey in the toilet will get my tickets for tonight's game."
Whoa.
Backstory, he played for the Bulls, now plays for the Bucks. They're battling it out for first place. So some guy's like, "Oh, I have a jersey." Toss it in toilet. Twit picks it, sends it to him. Dude's like, "Okay, your tickets are at will call." How cool is that?
That is pretty
Whoa.
cool.
That's really cool.
Bucks go on to win 93-92.
Boom.
Because of the toilet pick.
Because of the toilet. And
I'm sure the Bulls were just so mad, though. They were seeing red, I bet,
How
after
could
that.
how could they expect to play well after
They were
their
like,
jersey
our
pick?"
jersey in the toilet? You might as well
On
burn an American
Twitter?
flag.
Yeah, that's exactly what they. You're gonna disrespect our veterans,
Right.
Veteran Bulls.
I bet the guy who got the tickets, though, must have, the Bulls fans must have found him and beat the hell out of him, right?
Well, I don't know that they knew where the tickets were. I also hope he didn't. Wear
Well,
a
they
shirt
probably
that has a
slammed his
picture-
Twitter handle pretty bad.
Oh, I bet they slammed his Twitter handle.
Oh, yeah, they did.
We've all been there.
Yeah, I've trolled on the internet before. People have trolled the Sports podcast.
What?
I'm talking
We've been
to you,
trolled?
Gary.
I've heard about trolling.
Yeah. People have been like, oh, every time Phil's not talking, it's boring. Other trolling things like that.
Actually, that was an email I sent out last week.
Oh,
to
yeah.
you guys about improving the show.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Slamma jamma ding dong.
Buzzer beater.
Professional basketball.
For you, the listeners of Sports Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. I personally recommend a wonderful book called The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Joel saw the movie. He said that it was okay. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Again, that's audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network for your free audiobook. And now it's time for another Weird Sports! Weird Sports.
Woo.
Yeah, Weird Sports. Yeah, Weird Sports. Yeah. This week's Weird Sport, Goanna pulling.
I'm sorry, Goanna.
Goanna.
Yeah.
Goanna pulling.
Not guano pulling.
No, Joel. That would be gross. Goanna pulling.
Goanna. How do you spell Goanna?
Goanna.
So here's the thing. I
Yep.
don't know what that is.
You don't know what a goanna is.
Do you know what pulling is?
You better
wouldn't
dive
even-
right
I'm
in.
not even-
Baffled.
I'm not even going to hazard a guess as to what it is.
Well, the Goanna Pulling Festival is probably not what you think. What do you think? That's the first sentence of the article. It's probably not what you think.
I just
So
said
let's hear
that-
what you think.
Okay, all right. This will be fun. Let's take a guess.
What's a goanna?
I'm gonna guess a type of fruit.
Okay.
That
a
we were
type
pulling
of
through a
fruit.
small like orifice. We're trying to pull a
Yeah,
guana
gross.
through like
Joel's
some,
manhole.
No,
Goanna.
I'm thinking it's I'm gonna agree with fruit, but I think it's like who can haul the most of this fruit over a certain distance.
All right. Well, goannas are Australian lizards.
Ah,
Of
crap.
course.
Missed
Close.
it.
But this event does not involve pulling these little creatures. The event gets its name from the fact that the participants look like goannas when taking part in the competition.
What?
They look just like. So imagine a guana.
Do they wear body paint?
Doing it. I
A
got it.
goanna. I
Wait,
sound like iguana, but imagine a goanna.
I'm
An outback
imagining a
guana
goanna.
or a city guana.
Lizard
like-
I've never seen nor heard of.
Right,
but
like-
I'm imagining it.
Imagine, you know how when goannas fight? Imagine that. Imagine that. All right, so imagine that. And then this event requires two people to face each other with a heavy leather strap joining them around their necks. Then they pull each other in a version of tug of war.
That sounds pretty cool.
So
yeah.
they're
It's like
Like,
reverse.
it's like pulling their heads back.
It's like reverse sumo wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why the lizard thing, because the lizards move their neck all
They move their
crazy.
necks and they're like, yeah, I want flies and to kill you. That's what lizards say.
Sounds like you'd have to do a lot of Pilates for this.
Yeah,
you
I
want
bet-
good core strength.
I
Yeah.
would just think you need a strong neck.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
Yeah,
strong-
but again, I think legs, core, all of these things important. Jordan.
people overlook the shell, Joel.
Yeah.
People overlook the shell.
The core is the basis of all strength, though.
yeah.
Gotta work your core.
but the shell
Yeah.
is the exertion of all strength.
How many years do you think this has been going on?
This
100.
sounds like one. I'll bet you. Yeah.
Wrong.
Well, it's Australia, so I'd guess like 50, which is in Australia years. That's the equivalent of like 600 French years.
I'm not going to tell you higher or lower, but you guys have to keep guessing until you get it right.
Oh.
That's right. It's 27 years.
Oh, okay.
27 years it's been going on. In the 2010, they had a very fun 25th anniversary of guana pulling event in Wooley, Australia. North southwest Australia, it says. NSW. I assume that's north southwest.
New South Wales.
Ah,
Yeah.
New South Wales.
A province in
That
Australia.
makes more sense. The event was held in the Wooley Sports Ground on October the 3rd. It was a Sunday. Beautiful Sunday. They did the guana pulling championship.
Sunday.
Seed people act like goannas with leather straps.
They'll pull.
They'll
tug.
How do you win?
You win just like a tug of war.
So
Pull
if
them
I-
across the line.
Oh, there's a line.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
The line
imagining
drawn
you're
in
just
the
trying
sand.
to knock the other guy down.
No, what's really fun about it, they had some pictures on it. Their heads are surprisingly close. Strap's not that long. They're probably like 2 feet away from each other, so they're staring into each other's steely eyes,
This
pulling
sounds
with all their
intense.
neck strength. Yeah, when I sleep on my neck funny, I can't use it for a day. Can't turn my head.
Cannot
Happens
use
all
your
the time.
neck for a day. When
Can't
you
use
sleep
my
in
neck
the-
for a day.
Your head is just
It just
tilted
kind
to
of
the side.
It's a bummer. Phil can't give blowjobs for that whole day.
Right. I try very
Pain-
hard.
the
Can't
pain
do
is
it.
too much, yeah.
Yeah. But these people are like, their neck muscles are like sticking through like old ladies when you start to see every like line in their neck going down. It's like that, only they're straining, and yeah, they don't pull their necks out. And there's a strap around their necks. It sounds like a hanging, a backwards hanging.
Yeah, you're right. It does. It does sound like a hanging.
Yeah.
Is that how this started? That
Yeah.
there was a sheriff in old timey Australia. He was
Yeah.
like, oh, I need to.
It's like,
crikey,
we're
mate.
gonna hang two of you at the same time.
1985, Australia, for the record.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1985.
Like
they
I
were
said,
doing all the
old-timey
public hanging.
Old timey Australia.
Yeah, that is pretty old timey for
In
Australia.
Australia years, it's
Yeah.
old timey.
That's true. Now is old timey in Australia years.
Yeah.
Look at what they do. They throw boomerangs. Crazy. They don't have iPads. They got boomerangs.
They might also have iPads.
There are weight divisions.
Well, you'd assume that there'd be weight divisions.
Men have lightweight, middleweight, and heavyweight. Women
right.
over 70 kilograms and under 70 kilograms.
They don't give it names because they don't want to offend the women.
Right.
That's actually really classy.
But I also
Good job,
imagine
Australia.
if I was a woman and I was in the over 70 kilograms event for the first year, I would cry.
I'd be like, I'm a heavyweight, aren't I? You didn't tell me I'd be in the heavyweight division.
too much Foster's Australian for me. And now I'm fat. There's also junior competitions.
For the kids?
Yeah, get your little wallabies together, tie straps around their neck, and watch them strain their way to victory.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I want to do that with my future hypothetical children.
This
Oh, that's
doesn't
so
sound like
sweet.
something that you'd want kids to. What if they damage their neck or
Here,
something?
if you're fighting, come here. I'm getting the belt. No, I'm not going to hit you this time. Just want to put it around both of your necks. Don't worry.
That sounds absolutely frightening. There's no way that's not scary.
I'm trying to picture Jordan explaining this to a police officer.
In fairness, it was a bad idea for the adoption home visit.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea to do that
It's
today.
called Goanna pulling.
Yeah.
Look it up.
The police barged down the door and they were like, it looks like there's 2 goannas fighting in here. I'm like, no, don't worry. It's just my kids. But they so closely resemble goannas. No, don't worry about it. No illegal goanna rings.
Children.
All right, have a nice day. Police officers, away!
They usually say on the way out.
That's what they always say.
They also fall immediately after stepping out the door.
Yeah. The Goanna Pulling Festival is not just Goanna pulling anymore. It's become a bigger deal. It's been such a draw that they extended it to other
bigger
things.
deal than Goanna pulling?
Yeah,
That doesn't seem
they had to
possible.
bring in other events so that people had stuff to watch besides Goanna pulling. While they're eating their whatever Australians have for elephant ears, like kangaroo pouch or whatever snacks they enjoy. The other events include wood chopping, sprint races, brick carrying, dog obedience demonstrations, markets, rides, and hip-hop classes.
So what you just told me is they have a carnival with hip-hop classes.
Right. And dog obedience classes.
That's at some
Or
carnival.
demonstrations,
I
not classes.
think I have a new goal in life, and it is to watch a bunch of Australian people at the Goanna Pulling Festival take hip-hop classes.
Yeah.
That might be the funniest. That sounds like a sketch, like a scene that I would come up with.
I'm a mixed master didgeridoo, and I'm gonna rap a for you. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Look out, motherfucker, or I'll take your life. Peace.
What rhymes with koala?
Goanna?
Oh!
Not really. More of a slant rhyme, really.
Whatever.
Well, I want to go to this festival because all of those events sound amazing.
All
Yeah.
of them. Some of them sound like weird sports in and of themselves.
Oh, maybe you'll have to stay tuned for another episode of Weird Sports!
All right, citizens of podcast land, that brings us to the end of another sports podcast. Before we go, we'd like to give you our contact information.
You can email us at sportspodcast@gmail.com. That's sportspodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at sports3podcast. That's sports3 podcast. You can find us on Facebook by searching sports podcast, your little top bar thingy. You can find us on Stitcher Radio. Download the Stitcher app today at Stitcher.com and search for Sports Podcast. You can find us on YouTube by going to youtube.com/comedypodnet. That's youtube.com/comedypodnet. And please subscribe while you're there. You can also find us on iTunes by searching Sports3 Space Podcast. That's Sports3, all one word, Space Podcast. Or find all of our back episodes at comedypodcastnetwork.com.
It is a smorgasbord of sports-themed comedy out there.
Oh, man, so much, right?
How many episodes are we up to?
49. Tomorrow, next week is our big
Next
5-0.
week is the 50th. We'll do
Over
something
the
special.
hill.
Tune in, folks. We're doing something special for our 50th. Lights off.
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.